Because today is a wonderful, wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome back, traders. Happy, freaky, funky, fantastic Friday. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to end this week on a strong and profitable note, and I'm happy to be here, get you guys educated, and really hope you guys get prepared for the day. Right now, we're starting the pre-market rundown show. What to expect? Well, I'm going to review everything today, give you guys my top plans, and hand it to you on a silver platter, basically doing the hard work for you guys. Yes, I'm going to give you all the key levels, all the key zones, the top stocks, my plans. You can literally take it, roll with it. You'll make some money. All right, but still do your own due diligence at the same time. Build your own plans, all the good stuff. But I'm here to help you guys out, get you guys prepared, and educate you at the same time. So we're diving right into it here in a moment. But first and foremost, I need a big old good morning from everybody on YouTube right now. Who do we have tuning in, and where are you guys tuning in from? Hello from lovely No Sunshine, Florida. What's about? It's the Sunshine State, and there's been no sun for the past 2 weeks. Like, come on, Florida. What's going on? Anyway, from Florida, baby. What's up, Alexander Rayel? What are you doing, buddy, on the YouTube? That's fine. You could also join the stream over in the Discord as well. And then John, what's up, John? Who else we got over here? We got Iowa. I love it. Brody, what's up? KC, baby. Let's go. You watched the Chiefs the other night? Woo! They're killing it. Patrick, what's up, dude? New York. PC, what's up? Alexander, Brody, John, Rael, what's up, guys? Good morning. Everybody inside of the Discord. Andy Cole, GTR Dad, Steve Carby. What's up? Catherine, Rael, and Steve. Good morning. Hopefully the stream is looking pretty good over in the Discord. Hopefully everything's it's good. If not, go up to the free live stream room, click the YouTube link, and at least you guys can tap into the pre-market rundown on YouTube if it's acting funky in the Discord. We did a little change a Rooski today. We gotta change it up, try something new, and do it like this. And then at 9:30, I'm gonna drop all the streams. Everybody's on their own, except you guys. We'll jump into the Zoom coaching session. We'll have some fun. But without further ado, let's dive into it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are ready to rock and roll, and I am ready to give it to you. Not that way. Don't have a dirty mind. I'm ready to give you guys the details, the game plans, all right? Guys, come on now. All right, so let's start with the economic calendar like we always do. Get an idea of what we got going on today. Is there any key events or any key data scheduled for today that we have to be mindful of? So here at 8:30, we had some data. We had wholesale inventories and resale inventories, excluding autos, month-over-month data. Didn't really see that much of a reaction off the data. It's of medium importance. It's not a high-impact piece of data or event. But that's out of the way. That was released here at 8:30. Coming on up at 10:30, you got some low important data. That's EIA natural gas stocks change data. Then here at 11 o'clock, same thing. So if you just take out the economic calendar for the day, Friday, December 27th, you're in the clear. We don't have any high impact events or data scheduled to be released today. So we're good to go, baby. 9:30 open. We have nothing to be worried about. We have no data to be mindful of. We are all set, ready to just rock and roll and attack this market and end the week strong and profitable. So right to the technicals, right to the charts, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's start with the SPY, and then we will go from there. All right, so we had this key zone of resistance from yesterday. We came right up into it yesterday, put in a high a day off that zone, and had a nice little drop. So that level was respected, and it's still going to be a valid area of resistance that you guys need to keep on watch even for today. That zone of top resistance here on the SPY is between 602.17 to 602.49. All right, then we have our line in the sand from yesterday. Same zone I gave you yesterday. It was respected. We did see a little bit of a movement off of it. Nothing great, but we did see it regain that level, push off of it. It was a decent little level from yesterday, but it's being respected again today here in pre-market. So it's definitely an area that I want to keep on watch for today as well. The line in the sand again is between 599.23 to 599.39. If you guys are thinking, well, Josh, that's not the same zone you gave me yesterday, I did tighten it up a little bit today. It was a little bit wider, so I went through and dialed it in, got it a little bit tighter, and that's the zone we're running with. 599.23 to 599.39. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the next main area that I'm looking at is this lower gap here on the daily. So from, what is this, Monday? Yep, Monday's close into Tuesday's open, right? We gapped up Monday into Tuesday with a big push. We left this big open space on the daily chart, this big gap. Gaps like to get filled. And when gaps fill, we like to get those bounces out of the gaps. So the next area that I want to focus on today here on the SPY is going to be this gap to see, are we going to fill that gap today? So that's all of the daily analysis that I'm doing. I got my top zone of resistance. We got our middle zone. That's our line in the sand. And then we have our lower daily gap. These are the best, most significant levels that I want to be looking to trade off of today. All right, let's go into a 5-minute time frame and let's see what we're doing, right? That line in the sand, we gapped down into it. We grinded it as support initially here in pre-market, just to do what? Fall below it, retest it as resistance, and now we're starting to move a little bit lower. So now we're below that zone. Is that going to be a zone of support or resistance? Well, resistance. So If we open below that zone, push up into it, and stay below it as resistance, and if we have really good price action, I want to get short off that zone because I'm expecting to see some downside today, right? So where would entries be? To the short side, off that key daily zone of resistance. So that's where entries would be. You'd want to put stops right above that zone, right? And where's your first target? I would say first target's going to have to be yesterday's low a day. So first target, yesterday's low a day. That gives you a 3-to-1 risk reward. Not too shabby, right? Where's your next main target going to be? The top end of the daily gap. So your first main target gives you a 9-to-1. Yeah, you heard that. 9-to-1 risk reward here on the SPY. And then final target would be if we actually come down and fill the gap today. Yeah, we're asking for a lot. We'd be asking for the SPY to fall 5 points. It's not like we've never seen that before. But again, if we get our full-blown move and we get follow-through and actually fill the gap today, you're looking at a potential 12-to-1 risk-reward on your runners. But first target has to be yesterday's low a day. Next target, top end of the daily gap. Final target, bottom end of the daily gap. And that's if we open below our line in the sand zone between 599.23 to 599.39. We got to open below it. Push up into it, get stuffed, get rejected, have good price action. If we see all of that taking place, we're going to get short, put stops right above that zone, and we already have a plan built where we are looking to take profits, where we're looking to gain, how we're looking to build the plan and manage our risk. So that's going to be the main plan here on the SPY to the short side. But here's my favorite thing to do. Right? Build an opposite plan and have it in place just in case. Because who's to say the SPY is going to push up to that zone, get rejected, and dump? That may not happen. What could we possibly see? We could see it come back up and push back above that zone. Come back into it, regain it as support. We could have great price action off that level, and we could see a wonderful long opportunity. So if we see the SPY getting back above that key zone, regaining it as support, and we have very good price action as we're retesting that level and regaining it, I would then look to enter a long position and play calls. Where to? First area is going to be that little 5-minute candle at pre-market. So that pre-market candle, the final one at like 11:55, go ahead and mark that up with a zone. We gap down today. We could definitely come up into that zone before getting rejected to the downside. So that's going to be the first area of resistance here on the SPY, and that's going to be an area where we must take profit right at that little zone, which is created off of that final 5-minute candle from post-market. That gives you a zone between $600.36 to $600.46. So if we see that push back above our line in the sand, regain it as support, and have good price action, we're getting long. Where to? That zone. What else is at that zone, guys? Well, we have our downtrend from yesterday. So take a downtrend from yesterday's high a day and connect this lower high right here, and then extend that trend line out to the right. You also get a third rejection yesterday off that trend line. So this is a valid downtrend that's being respected as resistance. So what is also right at that zone of overhead resistance, right? Well, the trend line, and that downtrend is going to be some resistance as well. So that's going to be a very, very strong level, in my opinion, of resistance here on the SPY. So if we get long, we're looking to take our profit off the table up against that zone and that trend line. We're looking to take a majority of our position off the table, probably 80% off, because that's an area that we could definitely dump off of. But if we decide to trim, if we decide to scale out and say like take 80%, I would put the other 20% stop at break even. And if it breaks that zone and breaks that trend line and we see more upside, at least I still have 20% on the table and I can let the runner run. Where do I think the runner could run to? Back up into all of those highs from yesterday. So my next zone is between 602.17 to 602.49. So if we get the runners to run, that's where I'd be looking to sell the other 20% up against those highs from yesterday. Right? So those are your two plans for today with the SPY. Right? Come back up to that zone of resistance, get rejected, we get short. We break back above it, regain it as support with good price action. We get long, and we know where our targets are going to be to the long side and to the downside. Trading is that simple. What's the hard part? Your mindset, right? Can you be patient? Can you be disciplined and wait for the market to move to you? Can you assess price action correctly? Can you build a good plan? Can you not get over leveraged on a trade? Are you disciplined? Do you have a good mindset? I don't know. Something you got to ask yourself. But TA, technical analysis, building plans, not rocket science. Pretty simple. The hard part, being patient, waiting for the best of the best trades, and letting the market come to you. So let the market come to you. Let the market set up, then react, then make a decision, and just trade accordingly off of these key zones. Those are the game plans on the SPY, ladies and gentlemen. All right, going on to QQQ, my favorite. All right, couple things here right on the daily. All right, we got this big gap to the downside. Just like the SPY, we have a gap on the Qs from Monday's close in the Tuesday's open. So lower into the gap on QQQ is at 522.89. Top into the gap is at 524.82. Then we have our line in the sand from yesterday. It's still a level for today. It was respected beautifully yesterday. That's between 526.31 to 526.49. That is our line in the sand again for today. And then your top level of resistance is up between 529.92 to 530.05. All right, so those are your three daily zones. You got the lower daily gap, you got your line in the sand, and you got your top zone of daily resistance. Let's go down to that 5-minute time frame, baby, and let's get an idea of where we are at. We are coming into the line in the sand. That's going to be a key level of support. So if we can see the Qs open, come down into that zone, and we have good price action, and we see that buyers are stepping in, and we got more buyers than sellers, and we're holding that level as good, strong support, we're going to get long. Where to? This downtrend from yesterday. So take a downtrend on the Qs from high a day. Connect these lower highs. Extend that trend line out to the right. First target is going to be this trend line. And what else do we have? We have that little zone that's created off that final post-market 5-minute candle, right? So we had that final candle close. Last night in post-market, we gapped down. That's going to be a little block that we can come into before seeing sellers step on it. So mark that little teeny-weeny zone up. In that little teeny-weeny zone, going to be here between 528.74 to 528.86. And would you look at that? Guess what? The trend line overlaps that zone. So if we get long off all of this wonderful, wonderful support, where's our target? That little zone and the downtrend from yesterday. That'll put you right around 528.70 to 528.80. That will be your main profit targets. All right, so that's your long plan here on QQQ. If we hold the line in the sand as really, really good support, and we know exactly where our entries are going to be, stops below the zone, we know where our target is. You already know that's damn good risk reward. I mean, what is it? What's that risk reward? Oh my gosh, you're talking about a 5-to-1 risk reward, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. So QQQ looking pretty good this morning. But what do I like to do, guys? Someone hit me with it. Build an opposite plan and have it in place just in case. I like it because it rhymes. So again, who's to say the SPY is going to come down? It's not the SPY, it's the Qs. Who's to say the Qs are going to come down and hold that level of support and give us a long trade? We could dump below that thing with some force. If we see price fall below that zone, I'm going to sit back and wait to see if we retest it as resistance. So if we see a crack of the zone, sit back, wait patiently, and see, can we retest it as intraday resistance? And if we have good price action, we're going to take that trade short from our line in the sand down to the top end of the daily gap. Where is the top end of the daily gap? It's at 524.82. That is your first take profit, would be the top end of the gap. Okay? I would probably, on this kind of trade, we get short, I would probably go 60% of my position off the table and then put 40% of my position stop at break even and let 40% ride. Because if we get inside the gap, we could fill the gap all the way down at 522.89, and that's my main take profit, and that would be where I would close my other 40%. So on this trade, I would manage it differently. All in on the potential crack and retest, 60% of my profit at my first target, top into the gap, put a stop loss at break even on the other 40%, and let 40% run and see if we get down to the bottom end of the gap at 522.89. So those are my two game plans for today here on the Qs. You guys should be all set, ready to rock and roll. Not only are you guys getting the game plans, baby, you're learning a lot as well. This is what I do in pre-market. This is part of my pre-market preparation. I build what-if plans. I get prepared. I visualize what I could see. These are all the steps I follow on a daily basis to make sure I'm dialed in, I'm focused, and I'm ready to crush the market. You guys should do the same if you don't do it. So again, not only are you getting all the good stuff, you guys are learning at the same time. All right, IWM, we got a pretty freaking key level on IWM right here between 224.44 to 224.71. Very, very key level of resistance that we keep coming up and hitting. We got above it yesterday. We held above it. We started to push higher. We're coming back down to that zone here in pre-market. I'm curious, was this just one big false breakout above that key daily zone? Or are we going to fall back below it, retest it with a lower high, and eventually drop on off? I mean, I'm kind of stretching a little bit, but it's starting to kind of look that way. You got that very, very key daily zone of resistance. You have this multi-week uptrend that's been hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and every time we hit, we bounce off that trend line. It's starting to look like we could eventually crack the trend line and move lower. I see the break above that key daily zone of resistance. We hold it as support. We push higher. We come back down to that zone. We grind it here in pre-market as support. Now we're starting to fall below it. If we fall below that zone, push back up into it, and stay below it as resistance, that would give us one big false breakout, a lower high formation off of the key zone, and that would give us a lower high into an uptrend. Typically, when we see lower highs into uptrends, we typically like to crack those and dump on off a little bit. So that's kind of where my head is. If we do see a nice little crack back below that zone, retest it as resistance, and come into that trend line on a lower high, I would start to think it may crack the trend line and dump on off. So here's my game plan with IWM. All right, if we see a nice crack below that zone and it comes back up and retests it as resistance with good price action, that's where I want to get short and take puts into the trend line as my first target. Because we could still bounce off that trend line and move higher, right? So my first target would be the trend line, right? But if we do come to the trend line and eventually crack it, holy moly, we could see some really nice downside. So first target to the short side would be the uptrend. But if we crack below it, I'm going to look left and set profit targets at every previous low a day. So yesterday's low a day, another target. Low a day before that, another target. Low a day before that, another target. Low a day before that, another target. And I would just sell at those targets accordingly, potentially all the way back down to like 218, 219 here on IWM. So that is going to be the plan on IWM if we crack that zone and retest it as resistance. We can get short from around 224.60 down to that trend line, which is around 223. There's about a $1.50 of realistic downside here on IWM. All right. But you always want to have an opposite plan in place just in case. So if we do snap back above that zone, regain it as support, I would also take this long up to our next zone of daily resistance between 226.41 to 226.98. And that's if we push back above that zone with force, regain it, and retest it as support. And then I would play it long off that level of support for the next leg up into my next zone of resistance there on IWM. All right, so that's IWM as well. So that's the SPY. You're welcome. There's the Qs. I got you. And then there's IWM as well. And that's all I got for you guys. I looked at everything else today. It looks like ass, excuse my language, booty. It doesn't look good. Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Coin, just nothing really looking awesome. The more analysis I do on the SPY and the Qs and IWM, God, let's just focus on these three. There's great opportunity. We're sitting off key zones, key levels, multiple confluences already, and we're already seeing some nice movement on the SPY and the Qs. So let's focus on the SPY, the Qs, IWM. There's going to be some great opportunity today. Let's attack the opportunity. Let's make the most of it, and let's make our money. And that's it. If there's another stock you're looking at, let me know, though. So type it up inside of the trade floor. If there's another stock that you guys are looking at, I can review it. If you guys are on YouTube right now, go ahead and type the ticker. I'll review it. We got about 22 minutes to market open. 8 minutes. 8 wonderful minutes until market open. All right. And then at market open, I'm dropping the Zoom and I'm going live in the Zoom. Did I say I'm dropping the Zoom? I'm dropping the YouTube. Man, I'm just talking way too much. At 9:30, guys, I'll be dropping the YouTube. You'll be on your own. But everybody else in M3, I'll be in the Zoom. You guys will be there, and we'll start our coaching session at 9:30. We'll have some fun. We'll work together the day, and we'll make sure you guys are making some money. All right? Slow down, Josh. But when I slow down, I'm boring, right? Like, who wants to listen to a guy so monotone talk like this? It's not fun. All right. You guys have fun? I'm having fun. If you're not having fun, don't come back. It's as easy as that. What? Bam. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. So give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good today, right? If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. You guys all set? Does that all make sense? Do you guys got the game plans for today? Did you learn a little something? Give me a thumbs up. Want to make sure you guys are good to go. And then do the same thing over in the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are all set. I don't care where you do it. Just, I want the thumbs up. That's all I ask for is a thumbs up. You come to stream. I support you for free. You support me. Thumb up. Like the stream. That helps out a lot. Share it. It helps too. There we go. Chris said thumbs up. I like it. Thumbs up. Just Bob. Beautiful. Cole, Rael, you guys are all set. Dopeness. Yes, dope. And do not forget, if you guys are in the Discord, go over to the offers room and check out the post that I made this morning. I'm doing a no-brainer, crazy thing that I've never done before. But if you guys are looking to join the mentorship and you're looking to actually start making money from trading, you guys need to check the post out. The next 3 people that we bring in, we only got 3 seats left anyway, 60% off. Why, Josh? Well, it's the holidays, and I feel generous around the holidays. So, I don't know. Yeah, 60% off. It's stupid. It's good for you. Doesn't make sense for me. But again, success, guys, it doesn't have to take years. You don't have to struggle. It doesn't have to be filled with losses. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been, trading for 10 years almost. I've been coaching for 5. I've helped hundreds of traders start making money a lot faster, a lot quicker than what it took me and what it takes a lot of your typical traders. And honestly, I want to help you guys do the same. I love what I do. I love helping. I love seeing you guys win. And again, it's simple. It could be easy. You can keep it super effective. And literally, it doesn't take a lot of time. You guys like to binge watch TV shows on Netflix? You guys like to doom scroll social media for hours a day? Guess what? If you just repurpose the time that you're binge watching TV shows, which I'm guilty of, or doom scrolling social media, and you focus that on yourself, your education to start making money trading, 3 months. Seriously, 12 weeks, 3 months, you guys could be up and running, rocking and rolling, and making some good profits. And like I said, 3 spots open. Next 3 people by the end of the year, it's a no-brainer for you. 60% off. So if you're in the Discord, check it out. Send me a DM. We'll have a quick conversation. and we'll see if it's the right move for you guys. If it's the right move, we'll bring you in. If it's not the right move, I'll tell you why, and I'll at least point you guys in the right direction, and try and help, you know. But I want to make sure it makes sense. I want to make sure it's the right move for you. And again, like I said, if it's not like that 15-minute call is going to be a waste of your time. I'm still going to point you guys in the right direction and try and help you guys out really any way that I can. All right. So make that happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's over there. Check it out. The trade floor. You're still unable to do. Oh, Patrick, let's change your role, dude. You're still a free. I think I changed a different Patrick. My bad, homie. There you go, dude. My bad. My bad. You are fixed. I fixed him. Yes. Alexander, good. Just Bob, Chris, awesome. Cool, guys. Well, happy, safe trading. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed weekend. I'll see you back here Monday morning on YouTube at 9 o'clock for the pre-market rundown. If you guys have not joined the free community yet, make sure you do so. The link's in my profile on TikTok, on Instagram. It's even here on YouTube. So join the free community. Tons of great stuff. But if not, just come back to YouTube Monday morning, 9 o'clock. We'll be doing our live stream again. But trade smart, trade safe. Have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll see you Monday, guys. Peace out. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream here in Discord. And then all of you guys can come over to the Zoom now. And we'll be all set, ready to rock.